Oh boy, do we have some fun books to go over. I want to go through the books I've read so far in November, kind of like a mid November update. Because the last time I posted, I believe, was the November TBR. I have quite a few stacks you can kind of see. Three different stacks. I have ones that I am still planning to read, ones that I DNF'd, and then some that I actually have completed. So let's get to it. So I thought I'd start with the books that I decided not to finish and a couple of reasons why. First up is Heartstone by Ellie Catherine White. I knew it was going to be Pride and Prejudice with dragons. I just didn't realize how much Pride and Prejudice with dragons. It's literally Pride and Prejudice play by play by play with dragons and griffins involved. I've heard that there was a mystery that is unraveled throughout, but I just really wasn't in the mood for as much Pride and Prejudice as it was giving. I wanted more dragons and more fantasy and less Pride and Prejudice, but I just really wasn't really in the mood for it. It was fine, just not what I wanted to read, so I stopped. The next one I'm for sure stopping is Powerless. I have gone back and forth. I've read a few more pages, but I just cannot get past the silliness of it. It's so ridiculously dramatic. I just can't take it seriously at all. But it's not trying to be silly. Like it's different if it was trying to be lighthearted and goofy and like whatever, but it's trying to be serious, but it's trying too hard and it's giving desperate. So no, we're done with it and let me know what I'm missing, but I'm not convinced. Next up, I am not gonna finish is the 10,000 Tours of January by Alex E. Harrow. Again, same with Heartstone, just wasn't what I was expecting, not really what I'm wanting to read. I thought it was going to be more like actual physical doors that she was finding and going through, kind of like Magician's Nephew portal kind of thing. But it's just not. It is way more slow than I thought it was going to be, and I wasn't really in the mood for it. This one I could see me finishing sometime though, maybe when I'm not looking for more action adventure. But this is definitely a slow read, so maybe I'll finish it. We'll see. This one I think I'll still finish. The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. It's just so dense and technical. It feels a little bit more laborious to read. I'm super intrigued, so I don't think I'm going to stop it forever, but I think for now I have a lot more books that I'm more interested in reading, so for now I'll stop, but it's so good. I think I'll still finish it for sure. Okay, here we have the books that I did finish and did enjoy, and I'm going to rank them or present them to you from my least liked, which is still a lot, to my most liked, which was 5 stars all the way. So, of the books that I've read this month, my least liked of my liked, the least liked of my most liked, was probably Caraval. I still enjoyed this. I gave it 3 stars. I wrote it. I wrote a review on Goodreads and I described it as eating chocolate cake, which I still think is the best way to describe the experience of this book. It was rich, it was delicious, even. It went down quickly, but it was over pretty quick too. And it's so over the top extravagant and its luxuriousness and like the velvets and the textures and the lights and the sounds of this enchanted haunted circus that it kind of left me almost nauseous in some areas. Like there's just so much going on, but I still quite enjoyed it. It I moved on from it pretty quick. I didn't really need to linger and sit with it and let it like permeate my thoughts, but definitely a good time, so I do recommend. Probably my next favorite was Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. Now, if you know me at all, usually Sanderson is ranked top tier, like so high. This one was actually a disappointment until about here. So, all of this, I was thinking of stopping because I just couldn't get behind the repetitiveness of it. And I felt like the characters were quite flat until literally the end when you find out it's all on purpose. And it blew my mind. Like, I literally sat back and just held it like this, and I could not believe the twist at the end. So to me, it still doesn't quite justify a whole book of like, oh, what is going on? Like, it never felt purposeful enough. I wish there would have been a few more hints throughout, like, hey, this is on purpose, like these cracks in the veneer of the mask, or these hints of something's not quite right. And to me, there wasn't enough of that to make my reader mind think, oh, there's probably something not quite right, and they're just trying to figure it out. To me, they just still felt flat. But I shouldn't have doubted Sanderson. Honestly, he's always come through, and his books are always incredible. But still, I enjoyed the last probably 100 pages, and the rest of it was kind of a build up to that. Still a fun time to read, but it's probably my least favorite of his secret projects so far. Then we have Small Favors by Erin A. Craig. I also, in October, read her book, The House of Salt and Sorrows, and that one was so amazing and terrifying and dangerous and salty because it was by the ocean. And I loved the vibes in that. So I just knew I had to pick up any and all of Erin A. Craig. And this one was awesome. Again, it really was a lead up until the very end. There was some mystery throughout. And this book, I think, did a really good job of pointing to the cracks in the facade of perfection. Like, not all is as it seems in this idyllic town. There are some darker undertones here, and you should be worried, and you should be wondering what's coming next. And I was. I think I read this in one day, or like a 24-hour period. Super bingeable, awesome, and incredible. I'm not exactly sure what I thought of the ending. To me, it was, I wish there would have been a few more things tied up, but overall, I think I gave this 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I forgot that I was reading in most of it, and I love the bees and the way that honey and the bees and flowers kept coming up. She very much has a vibe and an aesthetic that she goes for in each of her books and sticks with it. And this was so well done. So I highly recommend Small Favors if you want an idyllic mountain village, kind of like Little House in the Big Woods or Little House on the Prairie, but with an edge of malevolent force, like dark forces in the woods, trying to break all that apart and pull it apart. And not all is as it seems. Not everyone is who you think they are, and the secrets they're in. So I really liked it. And can we get the biggest round of applause for the greatest books that I have read this month and maybe even this whole year? And yes, I'm even including Sanderson in that statement because this duology absolutely blew my mind. Oh my word, I could not say enough good things about this. These books kept me up for all the best reasons. I have laid awake at night dreaming about these books. It's romance, it's fantasy, it's war, it's heartbreak, it's longing, it's love, it's incredible. It's first and foremost a romance with a sprinkling of fantasy. The setting is very much World War II vibes, very much I almost got like England vibes, the way that it described some of the scenes, especially towards the end. But just incredible. So delicious and amazing to read. The characters were so good. The writing was delightful. And the story is just going to stick with you. These changed me. So these are 5 stars above and beyond for sure. Absolutely must reads. I've heard people say that Ruthless Vows was not as good. I don't know what book they read because to me it was better. There was more of the fantasy aspects, more intrigue, more plot changes, more danger. This was a delightful setup, incredible, but this was the twist and the ending that we all needed. So I don't know what they read, but both of these are absolutely 5 stars. And in fact, it's almost should have just been one book because the time between is so small. So I don't know why they were 2 books, but I would have loved like a single novel of, however many pages. That would have been awesome. But these are to me what a 5-star fantasy should be. I left these pages changed for the better and inspired to take on reality in ways that just made me feel so much more strong and so much more just capable, even, and made me appreciate people in my life more, because this is all about relationships and what we do to protect the people that we love and care for, and how much we desperately need those relationships. And oh, tear worthy in the best way. And this is not a spoiler, but it does end better than I thought it would. I'll just leave it at that. I was afraid of for the worst, and the author delivered in the best way. So to me, very, very satisfactory ending. Highly recommend. And last but not least, we have current reads, or reads that I am still planning to get through in the month of November. I might move through these pretty quick, but let's get to it. In the month of November, I am still planning to read A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this one, because I've tried another book by Ava Reid and it was the worst. Disgusting. Juniper and Thorn, hated it. And I've gotten like 20 pages into this and I am not feeling it so far, but we'll see. I do still want to read The Wicked King by Holly Black, even though I did not like the first book. I've heard it gets better in ways I want it to, meaning it becomes more about their empires and how they're ruled, the wars that are wrought, and less bullying. I just hated the bullying in the first book. Why was that necessary? But this one I've heard is better in ways that I want it to be, so we'll give it a try. How have I not read this before? The Dragon Riders of Pern, Dragonflight Book 1 by Anne McCaffrey. I've known about this series since I was like 14, and I adore dragons. How have I not read this? So for sure gonna read this one. It's super small, easily digestible, I'm sure, but I am excited to jump into this new series. Absolutely could not believe I haven't done it before, to be honest. I am still making my way through the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. This is Queen of Shadows, quite thick. She pretty thick. So it'll take me a while. I just got it last week, just started it. I don't know, I'm a little bit annoyed with the main character. She's really into her. I'm too good for everybody. I'm such a bad girl. I can do everything. I don't need nobody. And it's just a little boring to me and a little bit modern for my fantasy tastes, but the world is still intriguing. I still love the side characters, and we'll see what Kalina does, but I am excited to finish it. And last but not least, the book that I am just so in love with right now, House of Root and Ruin by Erin A. Craig. I am halfway through, and I have literally read this today. Like, I have been sitting here and outside. I'm on page almost 300, and I've read them all. I've read all of them today. Obsessed. Cannot get enough of this. It's dark, it's vibrant, it's lush, it's gorgeous, it's dangerous, it's everything I want Erin to be and more. It's a continuation of the House of Salt and Sorrows. The duology is called Sisters of the Salt. So this is book 2. So this is about one of the younger sisters who was like 6 years old in House of Salt and Sorrows. Now she's, I think, almost 18. And this is her adventure in another world, another time. Not another time. I don't know why I said that. In another part of the world. And when she's older, and the dreading fear and hauntingness of her past from House of Salt and Sorrows has caught up with her, and how it plays into her modern life. And it's incredible. I'm for sure going to do a whole video just on these Sisters of the Salt duology, because it's just incredible. A 5-star already, and I am so excited to finish. So that's all for now. November has been awesome so far. I've been kind of quick to stop reading a book if I don't like it within the first 100 to 200 pages, because I've got better things to read, and maybe I'll come back to them, maybe I won't, but hey, let me know what books you've enjoyed so far this month, and we'll see you next time. Bye.